everyone. Welcome to Zen Yoga with Sarah. Thank you for joining me today. Hopefully this day finds you well and happy and safe. So today I'm going to offer a gentle flow class. So we'll do some breathing, we'll do some stretching, we'll do some flowing. And a reminder that it is an all-level class. Just kind of follow along and join and move at your own pace. Just kind of doing what you can here and there, but just always remembering to stay with the breath and focus on the breathing. So with that, just find a comfortable seated spot on your mat or just on the floor, or however you choose to start your yoga practice. We're going to find a seated position here. We're just going to stretch tall through the spine, creating some length here. Working on that posture here, rolling the shoulders back. We're just going to start to breathe together. So taking the hands, you can either put palms down on your knees, or you can take a mudra with the fingers. I'm just creating that infinite loop of energy on each side, pointing up or pointing down if you feel like you need to feel a little bit more grounded today. So just whatever comfortable seated position works for you here. And gently just flutter the eyes closed, and we're going to start to breathe. So inhaling through the nose, all the way to the top of the lungs, taking a slight pause at the top. Then exhale again through the nose, all the way to the bottom of the lungs. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just continuing to breathe at your own pace. I'm going to continue to talk to you for a few moments here while you breathe and kind of just get into that yoga breath. Kind of start to quiet the mind. You start to bring your awareness inward. Bring your awareness to that breath. Again, just starting to shut down any chatter you might have going on in your head right now. Any distractions from your practice. Any negativity, any negative thoughts you have floating around. Any resentment, any just ill feelings you might be harboring. Anything that's not serving you right now. Just let that all fall away as we continue to breathe. Just coming into your space, your yoga practice, to your being. So again, just continue to breathe at your own pace, just trying to begin equalizing those inhales and exhales, trying to balance those out, creating length each inhale and deepening each exhale. So as you continue to breathe, I'm going to go ahead and pick out an affirmation to start our class with. So sometimes we can use our affirmation as our intention for the class, or just kind of a reason that we find ourselves on our mat each time we come to be, or just something to dedicate our practice to. So today, our affirmation is vitality. I am healthy and vital and strong. My radiant love of life fills me with healthy, vital, and strong cells. Each cell is a warrior. Everyone has its own sword and shield. I dare you to try to penetrate my cellular army. Didn't think so, chump. So carrying those words through our practice today with us, just being vital and healthy and strong. Breathing to those words and really putting power to them and meaning behind them. A few more breaths here. That breath to calm the body, calm the mind, find some peace, find some zen, excuse me, as yoga practice together tonight. When you're ready, gently start to open the eyes, coming back to awareness here. Let's go ahead and bring our fingertips to the ground next to us or to the mat. We'll continue to breathe all together, inhaling, slowly bringing those arms straight up overhead. Bring those palms together. On an exhale, we're going to take a twist to the right. So exhaling, bringing that right hand down behind, left hand down in front, looking over that right shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, coming back to center, just slowly bring those arms together. And exhale to the left this time. So bringing that right hand down front, left hand goes behind, looking over the left shoulder. Taking a spinal twist here. Inhale, coming back to center, just slowly bringing back together. And to the right, exhale. Looking over that right shoulder. Inhale. And finding length through the spine. To the left again. Exhale. Looking over the left shoulder. Inhale. Back to center. Exhale. Back to the right. Looking over the shoulder. Inhale, back to center. And exhale to the left. Inhale, back to center. And this exhale, we're going to hinge straight forward to the hips. Bringing those hands to the ground right in front of us. However they fall is fine. If you're going to walk those fingertips out, finding some length here, stretching through the lower back, breathing. Stay right here for a few breaths. Letting that head relax. One more breath here. On that exhale, walk those hands over to the right. So we're taking a little side body stretch here. We're going to feel it through maybe the hip, maybe through the shoulder, maybe through the side body. Just stretching here. However far you'd like to stretch, as long as it's not painful. And one more breath here. On that exhale, let's come back through the center, walking the hands over to the left this time. So same thing, just bringing the body over to the left side, taking that side body stretch, feeling it maybe through the hip, through the shoulder, through the side body, breathing here. One more breath. Walking the hands back to the center. Take a couple more breaths here. Good, letting that head fall. Just kind of noticing where we might be holding any tightness here. And breathing into those spaces, finding some more openness with each breath. One more breath. On the exhale, walking the hands back toward the body. So notice whichever foot or leg you have in the front. Let's go ahead and switch that. So we're going to create some balance. So just bring that other foot or leg in front. Bring those hands down to the side. Let's take an inhale. Reaching those arms long overhead. Again, hinging at the hips. Exhale, coming forward. Letting those hands fall to the floor. Walking the hands out for a little extra stretch. Breathing here. Again, noticing where you feel tightness. Maybe this side feels a little bit different than the other side, just totally normal. kind of the point of yoga, right? Stretching to get balance, creating balance on both sides of the body, evening out that flexibility. One more breath here. When you're ready, walking those hands back toward the body. From here, let's go ahead and find our tabletop position. So just coming to hands and knees. Keeping those knees just a little bit apart, not totally together. We're going to move into our cat-cow exercise, breathing all together. We're going to take an inhale, letting that belly drop, head lifts, tailbone tilts up. And we're going to exhale, rounding the spine, really pushing up through the shoulders, pushing away from the floor, exhaling fully. Inhale to cat-cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Here we're going to go ahead and tuck those toes under. We're going to send the heels toward the floor, hips toward the sky. We're going to push up and back into our first downward facing dog of the practice. So here we want those hands and feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to let that head just hang nicely between the shoulders. So give a nod up and down, back and forth. Just make sure we're not holding any tension in our shoulders and our necks. Again, pushing back through those shoulders. Those heels might not come all the way to the mat. If not, that's okay. But ultimately, that's the goal. We want to stretch through the back of the legs, through the calves, down through the heel. So here we want to find our breath. Just breathing, staying with that yoga breath, that pranayama, that breath that gives us life and energy. Coming up on the tiptoes here on an inhale. And then exhale. Go ahead and bend that bend that left knee, bringing that right heel down to the floor on the exhale. Inhale, back to tiptoes. Exhale, take it the opposite side here. And here, if we want to continue with that breath, and just walking the dog, just kind of pedaling it out, stretching through the legs here. Always just coming back to that breath, staying mindful with the breath, staying present. You can always take an option to pop down to the knees if you need to take a little break. If not, just stay right here in your down dog. And all together, we're going to take a cleansing breath. So take an inhale through the nose, then open up that mouth and exhale. One more. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. All right, and then from here, we're going to go ahead and walk those hands back toward our feet. So we're going to come to a standing forward fold. Walk up here. So grabbing those elbows with opposing hands, we're just going to come into our ragdoll. Taking a slight bend in the knee if you like, just letting that chest kind of fall toward the thighs. Resting here, letting gravity do the work, stretching through the arms, through the upper back, through the shoulders, staying here and breathing. Just letting the head hang. Stay right here in your ragdoll. You can do that. If you'd like to let the hands fall to the floor, that's fine too. If you want to take the palms in the hands and slip under the soles of the feet, coming into Padahastasana or Gorilla Pose. Doing that here, letting those elbows hang wide, finding that forward fold. Again, just breathing here. Sometimes maybe your forward fold looks like this, and that's fine too. But we've got to start somewhere, right? And grabbing those elbows kind of helps to let the gravity pull your chest down a little bit farther. So finding some more stretch to the back of the legs, finding a little more flexibility each time. So just depending on where you are in your practice, just do what works for you. Like I said, as long as it's not painful and you are feeling a nice stretch, just breathe into it, breathe into the stretch, and just stick with your practice. So one more breath here. And then releasing those hands wherever they might be. We're going to take a slight bend in the knee here, and we're going to start to roll up to standing. So engaging the core. We're going to let the head and arms come last. We're just going to slowly start to roll up to standing, just stacking those hips over the ankles, shoulders over hips. Looking up to the top. Inhale. Let's take an inhale, coming all the way to the top. Let's go ahead and grab that right wrist with the left hand. And take an exhale as we pull over, side body stretch here. Couple breaths, we get this nice stretch here. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, let's come back through the center. Switch that grip. Inhale, stretching up. And exhale. Taking a stretch on the opposite side. Breathing here. And one more breath. As we exhale, coming back up through center and then just releasing those arms. So we'll move right into our sun salutations. And what we'll do here, we're just going to go through 3 whole sun salutations. So we'll just do the same thing 3 times, and I'll just walk you through it here. So coming to the top of your mat, we're going to find our foot position here. We're going to come into Tadasana. So bringing those toes not quite to touching, a little bit of space between the heels. So not totally like pigeon-toed, but just bringing those closed toes together, finding a little bit of space between the heels. We're going to come shining that heart forward. Go and roll those shoulders back, palms facing out in a gesture of receiving. So we're just going to stay right here, coming into our breath, coming back to the breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. A couple more breaths here. Taking a moment to notice where we're making contact with the earth, just noticing the space where our feet come to meet the ground, finding balance, kind of maybe shifting your weight back and forth, finding our middle ground here. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. We're going to go ahead and bring our hands to heart center. On an inhale, we're going to sweep those arms up and around, bring it all the way to the top. And exhale, we're going to swan dive forward, coming to forward fold. Inhale, we're going to come halfway up, bringing those hands to shin, making a 7 with the back. Exhale, forward fold. Sweeping both arms all the way back up. Inhale. And exhale. Hands to heart center. And inhale. Sweeping the arms. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale, coming halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to step our right foot a little farther than halfway back on our mat. We're going to find our warrior 1. So inhale as we sweep the arms. Exhale, we're going to just bring those hands right back down to frame the foot. Pop that heel back. Step back to plank. We inhale. And here we're going to move through our chaturanga. So either bringing those knees down first, and then chest, and then chin. Or if you're familiar with this, we're going to just go ahead and take our vinyasa. So exhale, coming through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra, lifting that gaze. And exhale, Back to downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. Pushing back through those shoulders. One more breath. When you're ready, looking up toward the hands, we're going to step that right foot and then left foot. Inhale, looking halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping both arms all the way back up. And exhale, hands to heart center. And inhale, sweeping those arms. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Switching to the left side this time, stepping that left foot back. We're going to step it back to warrior one. Inhaling as we sweep the arms. Exhale, sweeping the arms back down, framing that foot, stepping back to plank. Exhale as we lower to chaturanga. Inhale. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Couple resting breaths here, pushing back through those arms, tilting that tailbone, drawing that navel toward the spine. And when you're ready, looking up to the hands, stepping that right foot up, then the left, taking an inhale, coming halfway up. Exhale. Sweeping both arms, reverse swan dive all the way back to standing. And exhale. Hands to heart center. Again, inhale. Exhale, swan diving to forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Get back to the right, step that right foot back. Warrior one, inhale. Exhale. Framing that foot, step back to plank, inhale. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. Exhale. Back to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. When you're ready, looking up toward the hands, stepping that right foot up, then left. Inhale, coming halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping those arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, sweeping the arms. Exhale, swan diving forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping that left foot back this time. Warrior one on the opposite side. Inhale, sweeping the arms. And exhale, back down, framing the foot, step back to plank. Exhale. Inhale to cobra, keeping those thighs lifted. Exhale. Back to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Looking toward those hands, step that right foot up, then left foot. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, all the way back to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, from here we're going to come into our chair pose. So what we're going to do is take an inhale as we sweep those hands down. Let's go ahead and tap the floor with our fingers. fingertips. So just kind of make sure we've got a good squat here. And then inhale, coming to our chair pose. So I'm actually going to come this way so you can see me. So chair pose here, keeping that seat down, making sure we're shifting that weight back toward our heels so we're not on the balls of our feet here. So I'm going to come back this way. So keeping that weight in our heels, not up on our toes here. So keeping that weight back. A couple more breaths. Maybe feeling that burn. And from here, we're going to roll up on those toes. See how far up you can come on those toes. And then we're going to slowly just lower down here. So we're just coming into a toe stand. Lifting those heels. Just breathing here. Go ahead and bring those hands to heart center. Fall back on those heels, that's fine. Just come back up to toe stand here. And I'm going to come this way. Okay, so you're in our toe stand. You can stay right here. If you want to bring those knees open, bring those heels drop down if you can. Just coming forward. Bring into this hip opening stretch. Garland pose. So keep the hands here. We can wrap those forearms around the legs and then hold on to the heels. Whatever variation here works. If you're fine right here, or if it looks more like this, that's fine too. Just stretching through the back of the heels here, opening up through the hips. Again, staying here. This is a great entry pose to crow. So if anybody's been working on crow, I know a few of you have, we can enter that this way too. So planting those hands in front of us. We can come back up on these tiptoes here. Bringing those knees in toward the triceps. Shifting that weight forward. Really wrapping the biceps around. Strengthening here. So just breathing right here. If you want to try lifting one foot off at a time, pointing the toe, bring that heel up toward the butt, breathing, and then release, and then trying the other side too. Bringing the heel up toward the butt, pointing through the toe. And just alternating as many times as you want to try that. And then ultimately coming into your crow. Leaning forward. Try that. And you're still in our garland pose. You might still be right here. That's totally fine. And since we're already here, let's go ahead and just come all the way down to our butt. And we'll take another round of stretching here. So just coming into a wide leg seat here. All right. So we're going to start on the right side here. So we're going to take our right arm. We're going to kind of bend down here, bringing that right forearm down to the mat. Maybe tucking that right hand under the right calf. So feeling that stretch right here. Then from here, we're going to bring our left arm, going to take our left hand, place on our head here, and we're going to lean into that right arm. And then we're going to open open that left arm up, kind of rotating the chest up. You're going to feel that nice stretch right through here, right through the hip. So we're just going to breathe here. This might feel intense if you've never tried this before. It's a great stretch here. And just breathing. Always remembering to come back to the breath. Excuse me. One more breath here. And releasing that hand, coming back through center. And we'll switch sides. So bringing that left arm down this time. Bringing that left forearm down. Maybe tucking that left hand under that left calf muscle. And then bring that right arm up. Bring that right hand to the head. Again, leaning into that left arm this time, and then opening up through the right arm here. Trying to open up through the shoulders, spinning that chest open, and breathe here. Breath, spinning that arm open a little bit farther, and release. And here, let's take an inhale, and hinging forward at the hips, just coming, exhale, straight forward, either coming to the forearms or bringing the chest down, or wherever the stretch feels good to you. If it's right here, that's fine. Again, if it's forearms, that's fine. If it's all the way down, perfect. Again, just breathing here, feeling, noticing where you feel that stretch. Two more breaths. And when you're ready, walking those hands back to center. And go ahead and bring those feet back together. And then from here, find our way back to tabletop. So just coming back to on our hands and knees here, just stacking those shoulders over the hands. And from here, tucking those toes, sitting those heels toward the floor, hips toward the sky, back to downward facing dog, breathing here. And pushing back to the shoulders. Bring the navel toward the spine. Breathing here, reconnecting with that breath. And when you're ready, walking your feet toward your hands. Toward a forward fold. Taking an inhale, lifting halfway up. Exhale. Sweeping both arms all the way back up. Inhale. And exhale. Hands back to heart center. All right, from here we're going to kick that right foot open. We're just coming to a wide-legged stance on our mat here. We're coming to the side. So from here, let's go ahead and intertwine those fingers behind our back. We're going to roll those shoulders back, and we're just going to take an inhale here. As we exhale, we're just going to hinge forward at the hips, letting the chest come first. I'm just going to let those arms come overhead. So if your hands are only just a little bit lifted from your back, that's fine. But we really want to open those shoulders. Let those knuckles drag overhead as far as possible. We're just going to stay right here. Just breathing here. I'm going to kind of shift back and forth through the legs. You can do that. You can keep this bind, or you can release and bring those hands down to the floor. You can bring this stance a little wider. Here I'm going to give you the option to do a couple things. You can stay right here, either keeping the hands to the floor. You can bring those forearms to the floor. Option to take a tripod headstand right here. Any variation of these things you can do, just as long as you keep breathing. So I'm going to go ahead and come into tripod headstand. So bringing my hands, fingertips facing this long edge of my mat, bringing the head just right down, not quite right between the hands, but just a little bit farther back. And then just gently balancing myself on my hands and my head. Slowly bring those legs up overhead, really engaging the core. And then with control, coming all the way back down. So maybe you don't do a full headstand, maybe your tripod, maybe you want to work on just coming into a tripod. So again, these hands facing here, you can just practice lifting one leg up at a time, just kind of like how we did crow. You want to try to use as much caution and control as you can. So just jumping the legs up isn't really a good idea. We don't want to necessarily put any more added pressure on our neck. So
just trying to find control wherever you can. Always engaging the core and using those muscles in the core and also in the back body as well to maintain control. So if you're still here, that's totally fine. Just continuing to breathe. Here on your next inhale, let's come halfway up as we inhale. You can exhale, hands come to the hips. Inhale, coming all the way back up. So here, we're gonna take our right foot, and we're gonna point it toward the back part of the mat. So we're kind of switching positions now. So we're gonna come into our warrior two posture. So right foot's gonna be facing that end of the mat. Then we wanna look back, finding that heel to arch alignment. So we want that heel of the front, or the right foot to be in line with the arch of the back foot. So from here, we're gonna take a bend in that right leg. We want that shin to be up here, finding at 90 degrees in our leg, and then bringing the arms to a T here. So with that gaze to be over those front fingers, rolling those shoulders back, we're gonna breathe here. So when we inhale, we wanna think of elongating through the sides of the body, and then we exhale, rolling the shoulders down. So really finding that length, holding here. And if we don't feel like we're necessarily very active or feeling too much, you can always sink lower down into that posture, but we always want to make sure we want to slide that foot back, so we're not coming over that shin, but we're always keeping that 90-degree curve here. So breathing. One more breath here. When you're ready, you're gonna flip that front palm open, or flip it up, and then we're gonna reverse our warrior. So we're just gonna bring that left hand down, sliding down the back of our leg, bring that right arm overhead, spinning that chest open. And let's go ahead and straighten that front leg to sky archer. Breathing here. Coming back forward, we're going to come back into our warrior two here. And then finding our our extended side angle. So keeping that forearm, palm facing up, creating that straight line from the tips of the toes all the way to our fingers. Trying to rotate that chest open here. Breaths. And then pushing down through the feet. We're going to come all the way back up, and we're just going to spin around so we're facing the opposite way. So coming all the way back up to standing, coming into warrior two on the other side. So now our left leg is up front, right leg back. We're going to find that heel to arch alignment again. So that heel of the front leg in line with the arch of the back foot. Arms extend. Remember, inhale, extending through the side body. Exhale, rolling the shoulders down the back. So again, making sure we're keeping that 90-degree angle in the leg. Breathing here. Always coming back to the breath, connecting to the breath. Flipping that front palm up, sending it over to reverse warrior. And sliding that right hand on the right leg. Chest spinning open. Breathing here. Just going to straighten that front leg to sky archer. into reverse, or into extended side angle. Again, palm facing up, creating that long line between the fingertips all the way down to the feet. Sometimes we kind of tend to be up like this. We need to drop that hip to create that line. Do that. Breathing here, looking up toward that right elbow. One more breath. And pushing down through the feet, coming all the way back up to the middle. And come through here. And we'll come back up to standing here. And then when you're ready, we're gonna take an inhale, coming into goddess pose with cactus arms. So we're gonna take an inhale, coming to goddess with cactus, and exhale, back to standing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. We'll hold right here. And then however you can, we're just going to go ahead and heel toe those feet in and just come all the way down to seated. Let's find Baddha Konasana, or bound butterfly here. So just bringing the soles of the feet together. You're holding here on the feet, or you can hold at the ankle, using those elbows to apply pressure to the knees, opening up through the hips. So whatever spot works for you here, folding over or pressing down. Let's find your spot. Breathing here, working on this hip opener. Couple more breaths. Again, always coming back to the breath, always staying connected. Find your way back up to seated. Then we're just going to come all the way down on your mat, and we're going to do a little ab work here. So here, we're going to come all the way back. We're going to lift both feet all the way to the sky, pointing through the toes. So we're going to bring those hands just next to our hips. Breathe. And when you're ready, we're going to lower those feet about a third of the way. Engage in that core, holding here. And go ahead and lower about halfway. Breathing here. Then go ahead and bring them all the way down to a hover, holding here. And slowly coming all the way back to the top. Continuing to breathe. Let's go ahead and lower again about a third of the way. Breathing here. Go ahead and lower about halfway. Then go ahead and come down to a hover. And all the way back to the top. All right, one more time. Continuing to breathe through here. Let's go ahead and come about a third of the way. Go ahead and come about halfway. Engage in that core. Maybe starting to feel some shaking. I know I am. Hovering here. Engaging. Let's hold a little bit longer. Hold, 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 hold. And all the way back up. Let's go ahead and hug those knees into the chest. Rocking back and forth if that feels good. Continuing to breathe. From here, go ahead and lower those feet to the floor. We're going to come into our reclined pigeon pose. So bringing that right ankle over the left knee. And then sending that hand through the little keyhole here and grabbing that left leg and just gently pulling toward the body. Just feeling that nice stretch here on the right side. Holding here, breathing. much pressure as you need or as you feel. A lot of us tend to carry a lot of emotional tension in our hips, especially women. So this is a very nice way to release some of that tension. A nice way to balance it out. And then when you're ready, lowering that left leg down, and we'll switch sides. So bring that left ankle over right knee this time. Threading the needle, finding the back of that right leg this time, gently pulling toward the body. And just balancing out this release on each side. Breathing here. Finding that nice stretch. Just on the opposite side this time. So we're winding down our practice now. So we can start to let the breath go back to our normal breath. Slowly release that right foot down and the left foot down. You're just tick-tocking the knees back and forth, just releasing any tension we might have been carrying in the lower back. Just a couple more times here, tick-tocking. Then from here, we're going to go ahead and move into our Shavasana. So I'm going to come into the Baddha Konasana again, so just keeping those soles of the feet together. And that butterfly legs. If you'd like to come into traditional Shavasana, go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and take that right hand, place on your heart, left hand, place on your belly. And we'll just breathe here, rounding out our practice. Just letting our bodies absorb all the movement we just did. Just taking these last few moments of practice to just be here and be still, just be connected. Chest and connecting with the breath, connecting with our physical body. As always, you are more than welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as it serves you. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and bring my knees back together. I'm just going to roll off to the side. Using that right bicep as a pillow. Just staying here for a quick moment of gratitude. Just being thankful for our yoga practice, being thankful for the abundances of the universe, and thankful for the breath, and thankful for the time that we have on our mats. And then you're ready, gently rolling back up to a comfortable seated position. I'll join you with an Anjali Mudra, hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed Zen Yoga with Sarah. I'll see you next time. Namaste.